Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Business 411. I am your host, Elizabeth, and we're back for another episode today. If you know anything about me, you know that I love skincare, so I'm particularly excited about our guest today. She is Miss Racquell Brown. She's the founder and CEO of Irie, Jamaica, and they are a skincare brand. They supply facial and body care products for all your skincare needs. And I'm super excited to have this conversation with her to share her story. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hi, Racquell. How are you doing?
Elizabeth, I'm good.
I'm glad to hear that you're doing well, with everything that's going on. How's your day been going so far?
How has the day?
Yes, the day.
Well, the day has been a hectic day for us, but that's typical. We're coming out of COVID, and fortunate for us, we have been affected, but it hasn't been devastating. And our customer base is still demanding products. So we are very happy for that.
Okay, so before we move any further, I'm just going to give you the chance to introduce yourself to those who may be listening, and let them know a little bit more about Irie and who you are.
Okay, so my name is Racquell Brown. I am the owner, the founder, and the CEO of Irie. We're a natural line of cosmetic company. We are a natural cosmetic company. We specialize in skincare, and what we really do is to fuse or infuse traditional herbs with innovative natural ingredients. So in our products, you will find the tea tree and the witches herbs being incorporated in our product, but also you'll find ingredients such as hyaluronic acid and tripeptides, which are all natural based, more innovative ingredients that actually will enhance and bring about the desired results that we will want in our skincare products in a faster, more effective and efficient manner.
Oh, wow. That sounds wonderful. As someone who's into skincare myself, I've actually tried one of Irie's products, the aloe vera gel.
Yes.
And I really liked it.
Great.
So I'm really excited to have this conversation. So just moving before the company started, tell me a little bit about your background. What were you doing before, and what really kind of sparked this entire business?
Okay, so at university, I really and truly major in marketing and international business, and that is where my educational background is in. I have always dreamt of creating my own brand. Wasn't really sure in which industry I would be in, to be honest. I remember even at uni creating what you would consider a perfume line of products and enjoying that thoroughly. But it wasn't until when I actually went to London to work and study, I truly get a full feel of the cosmetic feel and fell in love with it. I truly fell in love with some fabulous British brands, which are now international brands, and fell in love with just the origin of them. The fact that a lot of those brands started in their kitchen. And I thought that, you know what? This is something that is possible. These brands did start with these multi-million dollar behind them. So it made the dream seem more possible or more realistic, so to speak. I had acne prone skin, and when I'm at home, I would have been able to go to the dermatologist and get it treated. When I was living in the UK, living in London in particular, I didn't have that available resource to actually go and see a dermatologist. So I had to get very creative as to how I treat my acne. So I started to do quite a bit of research and start experimenting. So I would go to the holistic store. I would also go to the pharmacy and fuse infuse water, natural ingredients that I would get there at the holistic store, and with any pharmaceutical product that I would get at the pharmacy, in order to make something that would work for me, something that won't irritate my skin, because I realized that I had very sensitive skin, and I realized that whenever I use just the regular medication, I would either break out even more, or I would get, my skin would be very irritated. So I tried to form that balance.
Okay, so you're trying to figure out what you can use to help your skin, considering that most products weren't working for you. So where did you go from there?
From there, pretty much experimenting, doing it on my own, just for me. Came back home to Jamaica after about 2.5 years and was working in marketing. While we had in 2000 and was it 2008, we had that recession.
Right.
And during that first wave of recession, the company that I was working with started making person redundant. And in starting, when I saw that, I started thinking, Racquell, if you're one of those persons who happen to be redundant, what do you want to do next? What would be your next step or your next stage? And after asking myself that question, after going through it in my mind and saying it out loud, the one answer that keep coming was I wanted to take the risk and see whether or not I could actually start my own business. Being that I had actually started in terms of formulating products for myself and they were working for me, I said, let me see you start experimenting with my family members and friends, and start giving products, making products and giving them out for them to just let me know what they think and how it feel and whether or not it was working for them as well. After doing that for a little while, going to Jamaica Bureau of Standard, getting in contact with a few persons within my social circle who were either chemists or pharmacists who would help me to perfect my formulation. This is over a period of time, mind you. I then came up with my first batch of products, and those products were literally it was my body oil, my body scrub, and my body lotion. Those three products were the products that we started out with, and everything else is history, so to speak.
Right. I see that, the brand has evolved a lot. You have the facial line and then you have body care as well. And I know that your glycolic line is really popular as well for, anti-aging and such and such. So how did you get the name Irie Rock? Is that something that just came from a consensus, or does that have a personal meaning to you that you attach to the brand?
I didn't like the name. Let me go off that.
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that.
I thought that it was maybe a little bit too strong. But how we came about with the name was that we had several names on a piece of paper. We did a focus group. And when we did the focus group, Irie Rock and two other names stood out in the focus group. What made me actually decide upon the name Irie Rock was when I was actually walking in Spalding's coming from the grocery store, and one of the participants that was in the focus group said hi to me, and how she acknowledged me was, "Hi, Miss Irie Rock." And I said, you know what? The mere fact that she could remember that name out of all of the others said something. I wanted a strong name. I wanted something that could identify with the Caribbean, and I wanted something that could stand on its own. And obviously, that particular name, brand, from a branding perspective, could definitely do so. And it was memorable.
Right.
So from there, it was Irie Racquell.
Okay, and you said the rest is history.
Yes.
So you said you started with the body oil, the body scrub, and the body lotion. So how long did you have just those three products before you started introducing others?
Oh Lord, we had those products for a good little while. Maybe 3 or 4 years. Because what happened was that we, for the first 2 years, we mainly were selling into it was longer than that, as a matter of fact. Maybe the first 3 years we actually were only selling to hotels and spas and gift shops. And then what happened is that one of our biggest hotels, spa, went with another brand in terms of supplying them, and we got dropped literally. Their prices was less better than ours.
Yeah.
And I remember going home and literally crying because they made up like a good 80% of our revenue stream. And I went home crying. I cried literally for about a week, if I'm completely honest with you. And then one morning I got up and I was like, you know what, Racquell? It have already been done. There's not much you can do about it at this point in time. What is the next step? And the next step for us was to, okay, then, one, I don't want ever to be in a position where any one particular company has so much impact on my business from a revenue perspective. So the best option would be to go retail, start supplying retailers, the pharmacies, the beauty supply stores throughout the island. And then what we did was to start branching out into more options in terms of scents and products. And for about a good 4 years, we had only body care products and was toying with skincare, facial care.
Right.
I was very nervous about facial care because at the time there was literally no local brand that was actually manufacturing facial care products. All the brands were international. And I remember going to the spring summer fair in Birmingham in the UK, and I had done a small batch of our tea tree line of products, and we had carried it with us. Just one sample as a matter of each of the products. And I remember Boots coming to the representative of Boots. Boots is one of the larger pharmacy within the UK, coming to our booth, and they were actually looking at the product. And as a matter of fact, they asked me to send a sample of the product to them. I was so excited. I thought, I guess this is my break.
Right.
I sent them, I came back home, we sent them a sample of the product, and I followed back with them. They replied to me and pretty much stated that unfortunately they won't be able to carry our products in their stores because they have a similar product. And I was devastated. But at the same time too, she looked at me and she said something to me. She said something that was very encouraging to me, and I took it as that. She said, as a matter of fact, it is one of our best-selling products. And what I got there was this. I obviously have a product that will draw the attention of the target market that I want. That's a good thing. Two, I also have a product that another company have somewhat tried and tested in terms of its popularity. So I know that it can sell. I know that ours is a little bit different from theirs in the sense that theirs did have certain key ingredients that ours have. And if I may say so myself, we had a better product than they did based on ingredients makeup. and what the product would have been able to do to the end consumer based on those ingredients. So I was, after she saying that, I left the conversation, a conversation that I should have been very disappointed, but feeling very hopeful. And with that, being armed with that information, I literally started truly manufacturing this new line of product and putting it out in the local space. I remember when we just started out, we would go into each stores and I would say, if I'm able to sell 3 of each, if we started off with that line with 4 products, and I was saying, if I'm able to sell 3 of each of these products to each store, I would be able to hit my overheads for the month, and I would give myself a target for the month, and I would say that, okay, then if I'm able to sell to 10 new customers for the month, I just need to get 10 new customers for the month, and my overheads would be set. And I did that for the first month, and then the next month I set my target for another 10. So now the following month I should have a little bit more surplus. And then it continued to this day. Right now we have 300 plus stores island wide.
Wow.
And now also exporting to the UK and Grand Cayman, and also while selling online through Amazon and our online platform, our website www.irierock.com. So it has been a journey, to say the least.
Right. That sounds amazing. And the amount of growth that you experience as well is that's inspiring. I kind of just want to circle back to when you said you first started, deciding that you're going to go into retail, and you went and you're saying, just let me sell this amount of products to meet my overheads for this month. How did you pitch that to these retail stores? Did you just go in and have the products and say, hey, try this? Or did you, send out emails? Like, what was that process like for you?
Locally, a lot of it was cold calling, so to speak. I would get dressed up and I would say, okay, I'm going to be heading into the Halfway Tree area today, and I have a listing of stores that I would want to see today. And from there, I would literally knock on go in the store. Hi, my name is Racquell Brown. Is it possible for me to speak with the person who deals with purchasing? If the person is able to meet with me, I would then proceeded to ask them whether or not I could just take a minute of their time to actually introduce to them our products. And it stemmed from there.
Right.
It was a cold call, 100%. Very few emails were sent out in terms of introducing the product prior to actually meeting with the retailer face to face. Majority of those emails that went out in terms of that getting appointment, were mainly to the hotels, because you needed that to be done prior to. And but majority of it was cold calling.
And were you doing this all on your own, or did you have someone helping you?
Oh, it was all on our own. For the first 4 years of business, I was production, sales, marketing, admin, and everything else in between. But sometimes that's what goes into building a business in the initial stage, where your capital is very, very small, and you just have to just roll up your sleeves, so to speak, and get the job done. And remember, we started this brand in the heart of a recession, right. So we had to know how we Jamaicans say ban we belly, so to speak. Yeah. We had to know figure it out very quickly as to how we can keep our overheads very low, and going out there and trying our very best to actually get that sale.
Right. So you have the products now in some retail stores, and you're gaining some momentum. Can you remember a specific time period where you realized that the product was really taking off, the brand was really taking off, and that you were expanding?
Um, I think I still, for me, that true expansion have yet to come, to be honest. We're still waiting for that one big international buyer, so to speak, that will actually put me in a chain of stores. That would be the big thing for me, as Sally's or
Okay.
so for
Yeah.
that. When I dream big, to be honest. But but one of the moments in which I sat back and I was like, okay, then this can definitely work, was when we became one of the bold ones in manufacturing through the national program, National Baking Company program, and customers now weren't just. It wasn't a scenario where we were going in and trying to solicit customers. We now have a scenario where customers or potential retailers were coming into us, calling in to get our products on their shelves. I think even just the other day during the whole COVID period as well, it truly hit me where even during the COVID period, we had a fairly good demand for products. And what that told me was that, okay, then Racquell, you now have a steady market share,
Right.
locally. And that was, for me, it's little things. I In all honesty, I rarely remember the big moments. We have won so many awards, and I rarely speak about those awards because it's the little things that lead up to those awards,
Yeah.
that make it possible for us to get those awards.
Right. The day to day.
Yeah, it's literally the day-to-day things. Something as simple as um, during the COVID period, we still getting our orders from our customers, in spite of the fact that so many persons were not.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah,
Um,
man.
it's those little things that really let you realize, you truly have something going on here, or you have you have now established yourself as not as a solid player within the industry that you're in.
Right, because that means that just signifies a loyal customer base. They still buy the
Ah,
products even during this time. So that just goes to
exactly.
show. Right, exactly. That's great too, because so many businesses are seeing the opposite of that right now. So that's something to be thankful
Oh,
for
we
sure.
are thankful. We are very much thankful because prior to this, we were like in a state of, with everything that was happening in the United States, we were in a state of, oh my God, what will it be? How will we adapt? Yes, we started our business in a recession. Yes, we know how to handle rough times, and we have always kept our overheads quite manageable, so to speak.
Right.
But this is a totally different ball game.
Mm-hmm.
How do we adapt? How do we ensure that we can go through this, still holding ourselves up?
Right. So what are some of the strategies that you've been using to do that, to adapt during this time? If you can share any.
Elizabeth, if I'm going to be very frank with you, during
Okay.
this period has been a very personal, very trying time for me and my family.
Mm-hmm.
The matriarch, my mama, during this part in the last 2 months, right in the COVID period here in Jamaica, passed away.
Oh no.
And yes, and 3 weeks later, I fell and broke my arm. So when I tell you that we have not really all of the strategies that we had initially put in place, as in have put it written down that we would be implementing during that period of time or this period of time, very few were actually executed.
Right.
One of which we did was to make sure that in spite of all of the chaos that was happening, we tried to ensure that we were still communicating with our customers. And to show a sense of we are with you, we collaborated with a few of the other local brands here within the cosmetic industry to show our unity as cosmetic manufacturers, wanting to actually give our frontline workers a little bit of a treat, as well as for our company on a whole. What we also tried to do was to give bundle deals to our end users. Just a bit of an appreciation once again to just ensuring them that they had their products as they go through the process, because a lot of the retail stores were closed.
Right.
So we don't normally sell directly to our local customers like that. So what we did was to actually for a very short window of time to offer that service to our end customers, which ironically also helped in boosting the sales of our retailers.
Oh wow, that's great.
I think rough 2 months,
Yeah.
but personally, but from a business perspective, we Father God realized that I couldn't handle anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear about the loss of your mother.
That was the reason why we were constantly in that zone of that. It took us so long to actually be able to make this podcast possible.
I understand completely. I mean, it's great though that even throughout all of it and the strategies that you implemented, they're reflective of what's going on personally. So it just reminds us that we're at the end of the day, we're business owners, but we're also human beings. And
Yes.
we're all going through this as human beings, and we have to adjust for that as well. So I think what you did was great. And I just hope that everyone, not just you and I, but everyone comes out of this just okay as a person.
Yes.
Not even like anything business related, because this is
See,
a
just
lot.
yes, because I was just saying, Father God, I just want to come out, survive, have I still have a positive mental state, because a lot of person out there right now are very sad and very depressed.
Yeah.
It's been a very trying 2020, so to say the least.
Right. I mean, once I've been saying, once you survive this year, I mean, you're doing well.
You're doing well.
Just getting through the year. Because
Yes.
it's one time you think something is done, something else comes up right after.
Yeah.
So you just have to give God thanks that every day you wake up, you're still here.
You're still here,
going.
you're still breathing, and that means that there's still the possibility of something, something else, something new, a change, something great.
Possible.
There's still a possibility.
Right. Still
Full
possibility,
stop.
still opportunity.
Yes.
So just to wrap up, I would just say my last question to you would be if there's any word of advice or anything that you could give or say to anyone who might be listening, if there's one thing you could say, what would you tell them?
I always say this, and I will continue saying this, and the last 2 months have proven to me personally that it is very much true. There is a part in Desiderata that says, nurture strength of spirit. I am a true, if no other time than now, I think that it is important for that. With all that is happening in the world, whether it's from a business perspective, from a personal perspective, one need to nurture yourself, that sense of spirit, because what? When bad times come and hit, and they will, it's just the natural order of life. You have to be able to pick yourself up. You have to be able to pull yourself out of whatever it is and move on in some way, shape, or form. For a lot of persons, it may take a little bit more time than others, but at the end of the day, we all know that there will be those moments. It's just the way in which life is set up. You will have those dark moments, but you need to be able to pull yourself out of it. And I think that will serve you very well in both your personal life, and it will serve you very well, extremely well in your business life, because that is what have gotten me through when that first hotel customer left us and they had 80% of our revenue, was 80% of our revenue. It was just not having that strong sense of self, having that strong sense of just knowing who I am and who I am and what I'm about, and nurturing that on a day-to-day basis, that have allowed me to go through that. It is also that have literally carried me through the most difficult 2 months of my life, so that I can actually today stand and even have a smile and have a laugh,
Right.
knowing that it will get better, and this too shall pass, and allow yourself to adapt into your new norm as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's great advice. And as you wrap that up with the new normal, we're definitely, most of us are going to have to create some kind of new normal out of this. So
Definitely.
that's very timely right now. So thank you so much, Racquell. I really appreciated you taking the time to talk to us about Irie Rock and their products. I definitely can't wait to try more of them when next I'm in Jamaica. And I wish for you nothing but the best and strength and prayers up to you and your family and all the success for Irie Rock.
Thank you so much. Same to you and to all of your viewers, our listeners.
Yes, thank you so much.
Keep rocking.
All right, thank you. I will. There you have it, everyone. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for today's episode. I'm hoping you all enjoyed it. Please make sure to follow up with Racquell and Irie Rock. You can visit her page at Irie Rock on Instagram and also visit their website, irierock.com. Thank you all so much for tuning in and see you at the next episode. Have a good one.